Alright, so here we go. Team round. How much interest is earned in 3 years on a deposit of $10,000 invested at 6.5% and compounded annually? Express your answer to the nearest cent. Okay. Now, this is one ripe for a graphing calculator. I can't do it on the one I got, so that's too bad. Now, the equation is going to be 10,000 times 1.065 to the x power. And so how much interest would be earned in 3 years? So you'd have to type in this equation, and then you're going to get your answer. And then you have to take your answer and subtract 10,000. If you do that, and I'll just go ahead and do this. The easiest way to do it is to go without a special calculator times, come on, times 20. And then multiply by 10,000. And then subtract out the 10,000. So it's $2,079.50. Woohoo! A bag contains 6 blue blocks and 5 red blocks. 3 blocks are drawn and replaced after they are drawn. What is the probability that all blocks drawn are blue? Well, and it's always replaced, right? So you have 11 total, so you have 6 out of 11. And then it's replaced. So 6 times 11 times 6. 11. So just have to multiply it out. So 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. And 11 times 11 is times 11. That was silly and easy. If the diagonal of a square is 5 root 2, what is the area of the square? It's 25. It's 25 because of exactly what I told you today about the 45 right triangle. So here's now 45, right? And this is 5 root 2, right? So if I look at this triangle, this is A, this is A, this is A root 2. So obviously it's that number in front of it is the side length. 5 times 5 is 25. If you don't remember that, you could go through the Pythagorean theorem and you do a squared plus a squared is equal to 5 root 2 squared. So you get 2a squared is equal to 25 times 2 is 50. So 5 times 5 is 25 times 2 is. And so then divide 2, and you get a squared is equal to 25, square root, and you get a is equal to 5. Personally, I like remembering the special case triangle better, 25. All right, how many distinct ways can you scramble the letters in the word blueberry? Oh, that sounds like fun. Blueberry. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 factorial. Now obviously you have a factorial button on your calculator. And I have 2 blues, 2 B's. That's 2 factorial, but 2 times 1 is 2. I have 2 E's, so that's another 2. And I have 2 R's. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. There you go. So 9 times 7 times 6. 6, 6, 6, 6 times times 4 times. Shoot. Shoot. That is unfortunate. This thing is unbelievable. 9 times. Now the board's flexing. It's kind of freaky. So 9 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times. Oh. If you have a calculator that works, you end up with 45,360. Sorry. All right. What is the volume of a pyramid whose base is 4 by 8 and whose height is 21? All right. So volume is equal to the area of the base times the height for all prisms and cylinders. For pyramids, it's divided by 3. So area of the base times the height divided by 3 is the volume of a pyramid. So 8 times 4 is 32 times a height of 21. So we have 32 times 21 divided by 3. Let's get 224. And there you have it. Number 6. What is the least common multiple? So we have 7, 15, 35. All right, so 7, 1, 15, because 7 doesn't go to 15, and 5. And then 5 goes into this. So 1, 3, 1. So you multiply all of the outside numbers together. So you get 7 times 5 times 3 is 105. And that's the answer. Okay. What is the sum of the prime numbers between 50 and 100? You just have to list out the prime numbers and add them. Just make sure you remember that 87 is not prime. It's divisible by 3. Okay, how many different combinations of nickels, dimes, quarters, and/or quarters result in the sum of 25 cents? So this one, you gotta sort of figure it out on your own and find all the combinations. So we can have a quarter, and that's 1. You can have 5 nickels. You can have 2 dimes and 1 nickel. And then you can have 2 dimes and 5 pennies. You could have 1 dime and 3 nickels. 1 dime and 15 pennies. And then we could have the nickels, right? So we could do 4 nickels, 5 pennies. 3 nickels, 10 pennies. 2 nickels, 15 pennies. 1 nickel, 20 pennies. Then you could have 25 pennies. And so it says, how many different combinations of nickels, dimes, and/or quarters result in a sum? So I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I get 10 different ways of doing this. The answer key says that it is 4. Nickels, dimes, and/or quarters. Oh, because there are no pennies. No pennies here, no pennies here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you have it. What is the perimeter of a right triangle whose hypotenuse is 65 and one leg measures 25? Alright, so draw out the triangle, and it's a right triangle. So the hypotenuse is 65, it's 25. So then, a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So 25 squared plus b squared is equal to 65 squared. So 625 plus b squared is equal to 65 squared. So subtract it out. So b squared is equal to 3600, and then take the square root of that. It's going to be 60. So what have I just found? I know this is 60. This is a special case triangle. This is a 5, 12, 13 triangle, by the way, with a scale factor of 5. There you have it. And so what is the perimeter? So you just add them up. 65 plus 60 is 125. 125 plus 25 is 150. And now for my last wonderful problem. I need to go home, apparently. Express the binary number 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 0, 0. It's 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. So that's 128, and then a group of 8, and a group of 4. Just add them together. That's 16. 16 plus 4 is 20. 140. Oh, sorry. How have I messed that one up? Zero, zero, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. So we have 2 times 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. So, as a base, okay, so I've converted it to base 10. I need to read the directions. So then I need to convert that to base 8. So then, base 8. So I have 1 is 8 to 0. 8. 8 times 8 is 64, and then 64 times 8 is going to be way bigger than 140. So then how many groups of 64 going to 140? Well, that's 2. And so that's 128. So subtract it out. 2, 12 left, so there's 1 group of that. So it's 214, and that is correct.